Be ready. Start. Mr. Syam Diwan, learned senior counsel, led the arguments. Stop. On behalf of landowners, stop. He urged that the Act of 2013 is a new, transformative and radical measure. Stop. The new law is a welfare state law, not a colonial law, unlike the Act of 1894. Stop. Mr. Diwan submitted that the Act of 1894 resulted in several rounds of repeated litigation on various aspects such as payment of compensation, lack of legislatively mandated timelines for completion of acquisition proceedings, etc. Stop. This also resulted in amendments to the Act of 1894 (start), notably the amendments of 1967 and 1984 (close), which to some extent sought to grant relief to landowners. Stop. However, these two got mired in litigation. Stop. Learned counsel relied on the judgments reported as Dev Saran versus State of Uttar Pradesh and Radheshyam versus State of UP. Repeated litigation was the result of an unfair legal regime. Stop. It was submitted that such judgments of this court highlighted that the Act of 1894 was enacted more than 116 years ago to facilitate acquisition of land and immovable properties for construction of roads, canals, railways, etc. Stop. This law was frequently used in the post-independence era for different public purposes like laying of roads, construction of bridges, dams and buildings of various public establishments, institutions, planned development of urban areas, providing of houses to different sections of the society, and for developing residential colonies sectors. Stop. In the recent years, there is acquisition of large tracts of land in rural parts of the country in the name of development and their transfer to private entrepreneurs who utilize it to construction of multi-storied complexes, commercial centers, and for setting up industrial units. Stop. Similarly, large-scale acquisitions were made on behalf of companies by invoking the provisions contained in Part 7 of the Act. Stop. Resultantly, such acquisition led to deprivation of the source of livelihood of landowners engaged in agricultural operations and other ancillary activities in rural areas. Stop. A large number of these people are unaware of and unable to assert their rights and secure fair compensation. Stop. The unrest and inequity which arose out of these deprivations impelled the state to enact to modern law which ensured not only fair compensation but other rights such as rehabilitation, employment, higher solicium and a guarantee against deprivation of certain kinds of lands. Stop. Thus, the Act of 2013 ushered a new regime that starts from a fresh direction. Stop. Learned counsel also relied on Bharat Sevak Samaj, Lieutenant Governor and others to say that the provisions of the Act of 1894 were outdated and were misused and were oppressive to the interest of the landowners. Stop. Hence, the Act of 2013 was enacted and that this court ought to interpret in the spirit of the new beneficial legislation. Stop. Para. Mr. Diwan relied on the statement of objects and reasons of the Act of 2013 to say that the new law was framed in recognition of concerns expressed by the property owners of forcibly acquisition without following due process and without paying appropriate compensation, affecting livelihood of such owners many times who are small property owners or persons having small agricultural holdings and having been dependent on the said holdings. The new Act is made. Stop. The Act aims to provide just and fair compensation, make adequate provision for rehabilitation and resettlement for the affected persons in the family. Stop. determination of compensation package on scientific methods. Stop. It was urged that being a welfare legislation, the Act of 2013 constitutes a wholesome rejection of the colonial approach. Stop. Learned Counsel urged that under the new Act, unlike the Act of 1894, a social impact assessment (SIA) report has to be prepared under Section 7 as an integral component of acquisition proceedings. Stop. If acquisition is not resorted to in a time frame, the acquisition lapses. Likewise, the new Act contemplates. Stop. The preparation of rehabilitation scheme which would note the particulars of lands and immovable properties being acquired of each affected family, livelihoods lost in respect of landless who are primarily dependent on the lands being acquired, a list of public utilities, government buildings, amenities and infrastructural facilities which are affected or likely to be affected, where resettlement of affected families is involved, and details of any common property resources being acquired. Stop para. Learned Senior Counsel argued that Section 24 constitutes an exception to the general rule, that is, lapsing of all acquisition proceedings by reason of repeal of the Act of 1894 and operation of Section 114. Stop. Therefore, Section 24 has to be given effect to strictly, given that parliamentary intent was to ensure that acquisition proceedings did not result in operation and hardship. Stop. It was argued that having regard to this salient feature, the provision (Section 24) should be literally construed. Stop. Learned Counsel submitted that the objective of new Act must be kept in mind to understand the scope of sections 11, 11(a), 12, 31 and 34 of the 1894 Act on the one hand, and provisions of Section 24 of the Act of 2013 on the other. Stop. Furthermore, it was argued that the non-obstante clause must be allowed to operate with full vigor in its own field. Stop. It was stressed that such a provision is equivalent to saying that in spite of the provision or act mentioned in the non-obstante clause, the enactment following it will have its full operation of that. The provision indicated in the non-obstante clause will not be an impediment for the operation of the enactment. Stop. Decisions in this regard were cited by counsel. Stop para. Mr. Diwan relied upon the three stages preceding the Act of 2013 to urge that there was no doubt in the mind of Parliament the lapsing of acquisition proceedings was intended to ensure in the event compensation were not paid or possession were not taken in respect of awards made 5 years prior to coming into force of the Act of 2013. Stop. It was argued that Section 24 should be given a plain and literal construction, except to the extent that the term paid occurring in Section 24(2) would also cover cases where a deposit is made before the reference court in institutions covered by Section 31(2) of the 1894 Act. Stop. Elaborating on this, it is urged that the first decision of this court, that is Pune Municipal Corporation (Supra), took note of Section 24(2) in the context of a pre-existing law. Stop. The court was alive to the fact that under the Act of 1894, where payment of compensation was tendered and the landowner refused to accept the amount, the state is nevertheless obliged to ensure that at all times the amount should be made available in a place or an account not within its control. Stop. It was urged, therefore, the actual tender of the amount of compensation is a sine qua non for the act of payment to be completed. Stop. It was considered that in that event the landowner does not accept the amount, it should be deposited with the court a neutral and independent authority to whom the landowner or anyone claiming under his can approach and draw the amount stop. It was submitted that this obligation cannot be brushed aside because aside from the question of acceptance of compensation without prejudice, even at a later stage, the landowner might wish to reconsider the compensation and avail of the amount stop.